All right, so out of respect for a former coworker, probably several former coworkers, because we do move on from the military into other jobs in that sector. But the bottom line is, and I'll try to be brief, the bottom line is that veterans, which are my main focus, and American citizens, but people like myself, I've lost almost 2 decades of my life to this. And like I've said before, I did not realize it was occurring in the service. I knew something was up, but the people involved were connected to other things. But the goal is the same. And unfortunately, in my second enlistment, it was compounded for everybody, not just for me, but for everybody. And I'll let you discover that with your own research. Like I said, out of respect for some of my friends, but I can't. This message right here, I cannot censor the main focus of this. There's not enough people saying it. There's not enough people doing something about it. And I cannot, if I died tomorrow and I had censored this, I wouldn't die happy. And I mean that. If you're in Iraq or in Afghanistan, combat veteran, or other operations, or all three, you are being targeted. And the basis of the targeting is to make sure that you're not in a white supremacist group, you're not in a militia that's considered anti-government, you're not in any other extremist group, and you're not in a sovereign citizen community. I'm none of those things, but I've been being treated as such since before I got out. And I've lost, to this and another related issue, all my family. I have no addictions. I have no real criminal record. I was starting to build one because of this just keeps increasing. And that's what the people at the bottom want, your community. It's very easy for a group of idiots that are doing the wrong thing to pull you in with your 4, 8, 10, 20 years in the military, especially if you're a Marine or a soldier or special operations or a weapons specialist or ordnance specialist. It's very easy for them to lay their weight on you if one of them or a group of them get in trouble. And I believe that's what's happened to me the last 4 years. But as I said, I've lost almost 2 decades of my life to this targeting. And I'll let you investigate on your own the sources. But I can only tell you that you do need to call the FBI. You do need to call the fusion centers. You do need to contact the Department of Justice, because local law enforcement, the county sheriffs, even some of the state troopers, they're not going to help you. They are a part of it, as are the fire department workers. Not everybody, but a good portion of them. The EMTs. I've had somebody when I'm literally about to have, it feels like I'm stroking out almost. And I've had someone that was dressed as an EMT, I don't even know if they were a real EMT, in the back of the ambulance with me. taunt me and talk to me like they think I'm somebody else. Somebody that has different color hair, different color eyes, is taller, is built different, has a different name, is younger than I am. And I've had them reference what they call directed speech, had them reference that person, that person's personal details, and then hold up a laptop. You know, they're messaging, they're messing with you. It's completely illegal. But because, as I said, there's people around you that maybe you served with, or maybe you grew up with, or both, that are doing the wrong thing, and they got caught. And because they'd rather save their own ass than pay the price for what they've done or what they've been doing, they'll hang you out to dry. Oh, that person was in longer than me. That person was in this unit and that unit. They did this, that, and the other. So, the goal is to track the people who draw attention to themselves that are in white supremacist groups or other ethnic gangs, or are in a militia, or are extremists by themselves, or are in a sovereign citizen community. I'm none of those things. But very clearly, as time goes on, I've been in association with those types just through work. And, you know, in times of conflict, sometimes they loosen the regulations on recruiting. And I'm not here to dime anybody out. I'm here to clear my name. And like I said, if you're being targeted and you're losing thousands of dollars and you're being harassed by your local community, by your landlord, by your neighbors, by your neighborhood, by your apartment complex, I mean, by everybody. Everybody, the way the system works, everybody will receive a message about you, which is false. And you will not be able to get work. You will be last in line if you are trying to receive benefits. I watched people get out and within 2 years their paperwork was done. It took me 7. I can't tell you how many floors and couches I slept on, not because I'm not a good worker, not because I'm not motivated, not because I don't follow directions, not because I have a drug problem, not because I have a drinking problem, not because I'm hooked on prescription pills. It's none of the things that you would imagine someone's having a rough go of it. It's none of those things. It is exactly what I'm telling you. If you're an Iraq veteran, an Afghan veteran, or other operations veteran, or all three, you can become targeted, like I've said before, like that. And the local law enforcement will engage in taunting you, and they'll ask you when was the last time you slept, how long did you sleep, when was the last time you took your medication, when was the last time you talked to a psychologist. But what they won't do is listen to all the facts that you have pictures of and recordings of and years of history. You know, like I've said before, this is the 3rd state I've lived in the 3rd apartment I've had to move 3 times in the last 18 months. And my vehicle's been vandalized to the point where I need to completely replace the engine. So that's what's going on. So you do need to call the FBI. You do need to call the Department of Justice. You do need to call fusion centers. You need to contact everybody at the top and call and call and call and ask as many questions as you can and ask what you need to do or what needs to be done to take your name off of that list. Because that's why it's happening, because someone dropped your name to cover their ass. And I can't let people's lives be damaged the same way mine has, or worse. Like I said, a lot of people that have been through this killed themselves. Why do you think there's 22 veterans a day reported committing suicide? This is why. This is why there's 22 veterans or more a day committing suicide. Because they've been falsely targeted by their community or their family or their friends Okay? So that's what's going on. I can't not put that message out. I wouldn't be doing my job as a veteran. Okay? So that's what you need to do.